Out with like I think one of the most talented female vocalists, female artists, our generation.
Yes.
Musician Zahara has recently made headlines for fighting for what belongs to her. She was quoted as saying that she has a legal team and plans to take action against her former recording label in a dispute over royalties.
And the same with my sister, Zahara. We made history together. By the way, I miss you, Bulelwa. I miss you.
Zahara says she was underpaid for her performances and the sale of her records.
Okay, the real Zahara is the one that I'm drunk or something.
But what's wrong with that?
Ayi kaloku mamela nandithatha nandenza ingelosi nandibeka nandifremisha nifuna undikhupha kanifuna undikhupha mamelani ke bethu nani bantu bahlala.
For over 10 years, Zahara has dominated the Afro-soul genre in South Africa. She has won countless awards, sold thousands of records. In fact, Brenda Fassie and Lucky Dube are the only artists that sold more records than Zahara in South Africa. She was the queen of country music, but her life was far from perfect. Zahara was a village girl that became a victim of the city life. From growing up poor, signing bad record deals, health issues and more, stay tuned to this video as we unpack the untold story of Zahara. Now, without further ado, let's get started with the video. Bulelwa Mkutukane, professionally known as Zahara, was a South African singer, songwriter, and guitarist. Zahara was born on the 9th of November 1987 in a village called Phumlani, just outside of East London in the province of the Eastern Cape. Her parents, Mlamli and Nokaya Mkutukane, raised her in Phumlani alongside her 6 siblings. She was the 6th child in a family of 7 children. Zahara grew up under strict parents. She was never allowed to date, drink, or do anything her parents did not approve. Her love for music began at a very young age. She started singing in a school choir when she was only 6 years old and quickly became the lead singer. You see, even as a child, Zahara was very gifted with music. Her strong voice commanded attention to anyone who was listening to her. At the age of 9, she was asked to join the senior choir because of her beautiful voice. Her lead singing position introduced her to a wide attention of people in a village, Phumlani. During this period, she was known as Spinach because of a strong love for vegetables as a child, especially spinach. This nickname would later become her stage name when she started out her music career. Throughout her upbringing, Zahara spent time sharpening her music skills and writing various songs, drawing inspiration from her village and her favorite musicians such as Tracy Chapman. As for her guitar, she said in an interview that a Scottish missionary named Lorette Mkafi, who had been in a village, Phumlani, since around 1986, took her sister to a music school. Her sister then returned home with a guitar, which Zahara taught herself how to play. As the years went by, Zahara kept on singing and performing in the streets and small venues around East London. In 2010, she eventually found a spot in Talamanca streets where she used to perform every Thursday. In one of her performances in Talamanca, she was approached by TK Ngiza, who owned TS Records alongside DJ Spoon. TK tried to persuade Zahara by telling her he was behind famous musicians such as Mzegezeke, Ntando, and Nhlanhla, but Zahara was unaware of them. During this period, Zahara had also been approached by Oskido of Kalawa Jasmine Records, but Oskido did not answer his phone when Zahara called him regarding her demo submission. In a way, Zahara was skeptical about TK's offer until her friend Shotgun told Zahara who TK was and how he can help advance her music career. She decided to give it a shot. She packed her bags, then went to Johannesburg and spent the rest of 2010 recording her debut album, Loliwe, at TS Records. Zahara wrote most of the songs for the album prior signing a record deal with TS Records. The album production was handled by the late Robbie Malinga and Mujali Fetebe. The title track, Loliwe, refers to the train that brought back workers home after many years of working in Johannesburg, where they often had other families. Loliwe was released as a single in August 2011. The song became an instant hit. It was so big that Loliwe was playing in almost every radio station and TV station on high rotation. Zahara became a famous artist in a short period of time. Her debut album, Loliwe, was released in late 2011. The first batch of the album sold out within 3 days. 19 days later, the album sold more than 100,000 copies, reaching double platinum status in South Africa. Furthermore, Loliwe sold 350,000 copies after being in the market for only 4 months. It is the second fastest selling album in South African music history, behind Brenda Fastie's Memeza, which sold over 500,000 copies within a week. In 2012, she won 8 awards at the Summer Awards and 3 Metrofilm Awards. At that point, every media house wanted to unveil her. Brands wanted to work with her. Labels wanted to collaborate with her. She was basically too big to ignore. During her stardom, Zahara fell in a romantic relationship with Umhlobonene FM host Amaza Nchanga, who was her first boyfriend. She also started drinking alcohol for the first time in her life, which later caused her health issues.
When did you start drinking though?
When I was 24.
For real?
Yeah.
I thought it's like since, because I started drinking when I was a kid.
When I was here, when I was stressed, that's why I told you when I came here. But I will never say to you, I regret.
A few months later, in June 2012, Zahara recorded a 2-day live DVD called The Burning Live at Carnival City, Johannesburg. The DVD features DJ Sbu, Leroy Bell, the Soweto Gospel Choir, and Bongo Riot. During her 2-day performance, Zahara was backed by an 8-piece band composed of percussionist Tlale Makele. She performed songs from a debut album, Loliwe, alongside her rendition of Brenda Fassie's Vulindlela. The DVD sold over 40,000 copies, making it one of the fastest selling DVDs released by a South African artist. In the same year, she started working on a second studio album, Pendula. In English, Pendula means answer. The album's production was once again handled by the late Robbie Malinga and Mujali Fetebe. It features appearances from Ladysmith Black Mambazo, Anele and Neliswa, Mzwake Mbuli, Trezor, and Two-Face Idibia. Prior to the album release, Zahara said about the album, "I am so excited about this album. My fans will love it as I've grown a lot vocally and also my writing skills." Upon its release, the album was made available for purchase on iTunes and Musica. Then TS Records and Universal Music released it everywhere on September 2013. The album went platinum after being on the market for only 7 days. Furthermore, it went double platinum and sold over 100,000 copies after 2 weeks. To celebrate the release of the album, Zahara and TS Records put together a tour of 11 shows across South Africa's most iconic venues, including Cape Town ICC, Lyric Theatre at Gold Reef City, amongst other venues. During 2013, the late former president Nelson Mandela invited Zahara to perform a private band concert at his home. Because Zahara loved and respected Mandela, she ended up composing a whole EP in his honor, which he featured the legendary poet Mzwake Mbuli. Then, almost a year later, in July 2014, Zahara's younger brother was gunned down in East London, Eastern Cape. According to Zahara, she went through a period of depression after his brother's death, but recovered enough for the 2015 release of her third album, Country Girl. With Country Girl, Zahara explored themes close to her heart, resonating deeply with the audience. Country Girl consisted of one guest feature from the late Robbie Malinga. The album was released on 22nd of September 2015. Like all Zahara albums, Country Girl became an instant classic. The album was certified gold within 24 hours of its release. It went platinum within just 2 weeks, then triple platinum, selling over 140,000 copies in South Africa alone. It also won a Summer Award for Best Produced Album. After the release of Country Girl, Zahara went on tour, then came back and left her record label, TS Records. She remained quiet for the rest of 2016, then revealed in an interview with Chisa Live that she had signed a partnership deal with Warner Music South Africa. She was quoted saying, "I have been waiting for a long time to announce this deal, and I am so excited. It is not just a deal, but a partnership that will see me and Warner work together as partners. I did not leave TS Records to be under someone, and I am glad that my record label will now finally get more exposure." Her fourth studio album, Mkoti, was then announced. In English, Mkoti means excavation or a hole. Mkoti was inspired by Zahara's experiences with the intense public scrutiny that South Africa's tabloid journalists have subjected her during her career. The album's production was handled by Mujali Fetebe. In an interview with Helen Herembi from IOL, she said, "So, Mkoti is all about my journey. You know when you are feeling like people are chasing you, like how journalists chase me for nothing? Mkoti is about people chasing you. People can be chased in so many ways, so you just run and find a place to hide. But in that hole, what you don't calculate is that you don't bring a rope with you. How are you gonna get out?" Mkoti was then released on October 13, 2017 through Warner Music. In just 6 hours after its release, the album went gold. 20 hours later, it went platinum. The album was well received and added to a growing list of successful releases. In 2019, Zahara spoke against TS Records executives, TK Ngiza and DJ Sbu, claiming that she was underpaid for her performances, the sale of her records and her royalties. She then said, "I want back my money, all of it. Many artists suffer in silence, suffer in depression, and ultimately die paupers. I won't be a statistic, I will speak out."
Nina hivi niyangithanda. Fana niyahamba niyoplaga phambi kwezi stations naninika amagama wazo. Samro, Republic, niye kwezethu, Universal, niye nase-TS because wherever TK is no DJ Sbu, you go there. If you really care about me fighting alone, I don't have money to pay for the lawyers. My money is sitting there. You know the money that is sitting there can actually even, when I come back, at our village. But you guys, you're only intense about what you see on TV.
TK Ngiza responded to a claims via an article saying, "We work with credible companies. We don't even pay her directly. Now that things are going bad, she wants to make an excuse and point fingers. She needs prayers. I have not worked with her for 3 years." On the other side, Zahara also claims that she was silent for too long because she was scared that her music career would be sabotaged.
The reason why I never came out that I've been robbed by money is because I was scared that ngizovalelwa my music everywhere. How did it happen?
This back and forth between her and TS Records ultimately led to a beef that lasted until her death in 2023, with social media users often criticizing and blaming DJ Sbu for stealing Zahara's money, since he was basically the face of TS Records. DJ Sbu denied the label owing any money and has since claimed it was actually the other way around.
And the same with my sister, Zahara. We made history together. But they were, "I miss you, Bulelwa. I miss you." But what I don't like is when she goes out and she says, "I owe her money," because you know that's a lie. And if you go down to the books at Universal Music, she actually owes us money and she doesn't know that. Zahara was getting paid 50% royalty rate and TS Records was getting paid 50%. And it wasn't supposed to be like that. The contract was, she was supposed to get a little bit lesser than that, and the company gets a little bit more. But throughout the Universal career of Zahara's TS Records career, Zahara was getting 50-50. 50 the whole company, 50 as an artist.
To follow up her last release, her fifth album, Ngabayam, officially dropped on August 2021. The title, Ngabayam, in English means endure. It's like a pillar or a rock that you hold on to when there is a turmoil around you. Zahara said she was financially and mentally affected when writing the album. She was back to square one, according to her. Plus, the COVID-19 pandemic was a huge inconvenience for a lot of musicians. The production of the project was handled by Mujali Fetebe once again. The album topped iTunes chart on the day of its release. The album instantly trended on social media for days after its release. The following year, in May 2022, Zahara's house was said to be sold by Nedbank after she defaulted on her monthly installments of 17,000. The singer went to social media and pleaded with kind-hearted South Africans to help her save her home, saying at the time, Nedbank only gave her 6 days to come up with the money she owed, which was over 100,000 at the time. The EFF silently paid 100,000 into Nedbank's account to clear the areas. After her house was fully paid, she thanked all the people on social media by saying, "This tore me apart at first, which is why I spoke about it. I felt like I could have knocked on so many doors, but they were closed. But I knew that there would be someone out there who could listen and understand. All of the 50 Rand notes, 100 Rand and 1,000 I got helped me." In early November 2023, Zahara was admitted in Olivedale Netcare Hospital in Johannesburg. Shortly, rumors started spreading on social media about her health issues. Her family then issued a statement which read, "Unfortunately, even though our daughter's hospitalization has been of strict confidentiality with our family and close friends, that hasn't stopped the spread of disingenuous information on the internet," her parents wrote via social media. Before and after her death, allegations that Zahara suffered from a liver-related complications and pre-diabetes had been long doing rounds. Zahara's health issues, particularly her liver problems, possibly linked to alcohol abuse, were acknowledged by DJ Sbu in 2021, who recalled times when the label supported her through tough periods. But Zahara's family does not buy their story. Hence, they opened an inquest. An inquest means that the police will investigate the cause of Zahara's death since they believe she did not die from alcohol abuse. It is alleged that one autopsy report states that Zahara died of natural causes. The other one states that her death is under investigation. Zahara ultimately died on the 11th of December 2023 at the age of 36. She was buried by a family in her hometown of East London in the Eastern Cape. As she continues to rest in peace, Zahara's music will keep bringing hope, healing lost, and inspire the next generation of creatives. Her story is a testament to the enduring impact of creativity, resilience, and steadfast commitment to making a meaningful difference in the world.